All right. So why don't you explain what exactly your position is in local government?
Well, um, we have a mayor and we have 6 council members. They're pretty much the ones in charge of making all the laws and rules and regulations. And it's my job to make sure they're being enforced. I am in charge of the staff, hiring, firing, all that sort of thing. I do most of the meetings and that with business owners and the other local government entities, because most of our other people have full-time jobs elsewhere.
Right, right. So is
Yeah,
your
just I'm kind of the day-to-day running person where they come in and just do the laws and stuff like that.
so are you considered the mayor? I know that's
Yes,
what alluded to on your website. All right, so you're the mayor. Is that so? Would that those operations be considered like executive branch or legislative?
exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm the
okay.
executive and the council is the legislative.
Gotcha, gotcha. And you sort of work with them to help pass laws and just keep the
Right. I do a lot of the research and things like that.
right.
Bring that to them, if there's something they're interested in or if there's something they want changed or done differently. I'll do a lot of the research and then they make their decisions from that.
I guess I should just establish for my professor when he watches this. This is Cindy Billings. She's the mayor of Hartville, Ohio. The town I grew up in, about 20 minutes away from Akron. Let's see. So, what sort of experience do you have, like in terms of education, that led to you taking this position?
Honestly, as far as government stuff, nothing. And I think that's the case with most, especially in small villages or small
Right.
towns. You kind of just either you feel passionately about something. We've gotten a couple new guys this year on council because we've been trying to pass the tax levy and they don't want a tax
Okay.
passed. So they ran for council because of that. And
Right.
that's usually how people get in. I did a lot of volunteer work and I was on a couple committees here in the village. And when they needed somebody to fill in for a council member, oh gosh, in 2005, said I would do it. And I've been here ever since. So
Oh, wow.
in 2016, when the mayor decided he couldn't run again, that I just kind of stepped into it then. But yeah, I don't think anybody really comes into it saying, this is what I wanted to do with my life,
Right. Right.
And it just kind of happens.
Right.
As
You
far as
mentioned.
education, we have a lot of different people. I've spent most of my career working in restaurants.
Hmm.
We've got IT people, we've got a pharmacist, we've got a lady that manages farms, on council. So it's kind of nice to have a variety of experience
Right.
because at some point, some of that's going to come up sometime.
So the way
But
you
then,
describe, sorry, just the way you described it sounds like a lot of people from different walks of life, they'll
oh,
get sort
definitely,
of,
yeah,
yeah, they get sort of passionate about particular issues and join the government to
yeah,
try and make change based on that, and then just sort
right.
of goes from there.
Or it could be, we've got a couple that have grown up here. They spent their whole life in Hartville, and they have a certain way they want it to be, and so they've ran to try to keep things the way they want them.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of different reasons.
Of course.
As
So
far as education, I think once you get involved in something like this, the best way to learn is go to every meeting, every committee meeting, anything you can go to. There's training they offer us, and it's just important to do all that stuff.
all right. It's a lot of being active in the community sort of
Yes,
helps
definitely,
get involved in
definitely.
local government.
Yep.
So you're doing a really good job with this interview. You're answering a lot of questions before I ask them. let's see. So what would you say is like a typical day in your job? Like, wake up, go to bed. Like, what do you do as mayor of Hartville?
I usually get here about 11 or so. It's supposed to be a part-time job. And when I first started, I was here all day and I thought, this is crazy. There's just, I usually get in about 11. If I have some phone messages or something, I'll answer those right away. And I might have some checks to sign, things like that, mail. And meetings with people like yesterday, that's pretty much all I did. And
Right.
sometimes, you're having a meeting with somebody, sometimes people just come in and if you have time, you want to talk to them. I mean, you definitely want to have an open door policy with the residents and stuff.
Right.
I'm also in, a lot of the clubs and organizations around here, like Chamber of Commerce and stuff. So generally they'll have some meetings during the day and go to those. Meet with some of the employees, the police, things like that. Always different though. Every day's different.
There's always a new issue sort of arising.
Right. Bad or good, there's always a change.
Speaking of sort of new issues arising, over the past few years, there's obviously been the COVID-19 pandemic. How has that affected what you do in your position?
We were pretty lucky, I think. Financially, we didn't get hit as hard as a lot of places did, but it was weird. It really made us feel like we were kind of like on a little island here by ourselves. You just kind of trying to figure out what you need to do. We did meetings virtually on Zoom for probably a year, which was really strange.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think it would be that bad, but it's a lot different than meeting in person and be able to look at somebody and, talk to them face to face. We had the village hall closed for a short time. You couldn't come in to do any work. You had to do it all either virtually or by phone, which was kind of weird because we get a lot of people that they'll come in here just to pay their sewer bill so they can talk and visit and stuff. So that was a little odd. As far as, employees, that was the hardest part because obviously the police have to be out there. And it was very hard for them to wear masks and things like that because you don't really understand them that well.
Yeah,
so
I can see that being an issue.
Yeah. So, and then people being off because they did have COVID or were exposed to COVID. That was also kind of an issue at times. But I think for the most part, we came out of it pretty good.
Yeah, and it seems like now things are sort of winding down.
Yeah.
In terms of
the pandemic.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're pretty much back to normal here. I mean, we do what I think everybody does wash their hands more and sanitize things more just because we just got used to it, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, of course. Always good to wash your hands. Let's see. So you might have briefly touched upon this, but how do you said you work in the executive branch. So how do you work with sort of other branches to help run Hartville?
Really, just with council, and it's not bad. You have some people that you work really well with, and then some you don't. But that's every job. You just have to make a point to deal with them, And we're lucky here. I work a lot with our employees, our street department, the police, the office staff here, and they're great. They're all very long-term. We've had most of our employees, I think, have been here probably at least 10 years or more. So that's really nice. They pretty much do their thing and we don't have to worry about them.
Yeah, I remember growing up in Hartville, it did always feel like sort of knew everybody. We're sort of all.
It's nice to be stable, have the stability. You see a lot of places right now, not just government, of course, but how hard it is to get employees and keep employees. And we've been really lucky. We haven't had a real issue with that yet.
Let's see. I think that's about it. That's all I have planned to ask. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Just that I think more people need to get involved in their local government. So many people, I mean, they go out and vote and they have no idea what they're voting. It's so
Right.
sad. Or they just don't go vote at all. You know, all our meetings, our council meetings, our committee meetings, everything is on Facebook Live now. You can sit at home and watch it. You don't even have to come. We're always willing to answer your questions on the phone or email, whatever, you know, it's just, I just wish more people would get a little more involved. That's,
Yeah. I had no idea they were all on Facebook Live. That's
well, we started that when we started the Zoom meetings, and we
right.
found we got a lot more response that way than we did people coming to meetings. So we had our whole council chambers outfitted so we could continue doing that after.
Right. I think
It's been pretty
that,
good.
yeah, I think that might be a positive of the pandemic. It's become easier for
Better
people to,
access, yeah.
yeah, better access to how their local government is functioning.
Oh, definitely. And even other things, you know, you had to work around it, and some things you found that it was nice to still have them after the pandemic, you know?
Right. Well, thank you so much for letting me talk with you today.
Sure, anytime.
And yeah, you have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.